Andrea, Sharon, Caroline and Jim are here now. Hi. I don't know how long ago it is since we last saw you, but it's all kind of happened for you since then. It's just kind of completely exploded, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, especially here in the UK, I mean, last year and the year before that, it really, with the release of Dreams, I think it really happened for us then, you know?
Yeah. I remember when you were last in and you were breaking then, it was sort of happening then. And do you remember we were saying at the end of the show, this feels like it. This feels like you're going through that doorway. And it was.
It was definitely, yeah.
Is the success that you've had, right, and the glory and all that, is it everything that you thought it would be? Is it as good as you thought it would be, being success?
I don't think you can ever really know what success is until it happens to you.
Yeah.
You never know. There are many kind of manifestations of success. There are many things that you encounter. It's very exciting, and it has been absolutely wonderful. There's other aspects of it that, you know, like constant attention and stuff like that, that is very hard to get used to. But as a band and being the Corrs, it's kind of okay for us. We don't get too much attention, and we're kind of left to ourselves, which is pretty nice.
You'd be mobbed if you got in Dublin for Dreams.
No, it's kind of okay.
Is it? Really is that because the Irish are cool?
Very cool in Dublin. I mean, they really are so cool. So, yeah, it's
That's interesting, because we used to work in Manchester, and in Manchester, when you see a lot of famous people, like Coronation people walking around, Manchester people make a point of not recognising them. They make a point of not recognising them. Which is good. And is it like that in Dublin?
It is, yeah, it is like that in Dublin.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And you're all still getting on all right? Yeah.
Good, yeah.
Fine, yeah.
Tell us about this Death Valley stunt, because actually I was on the same plane as Kate Thornton, who came out to do a film with you in Death Valley, because you were making your video there. And which two of you passed out or fainted or something?
Myself and Andrea.
Did you? Because it was so hot?
Yeah, it was...
Or was it something else?
No, it wasn't anything else, no. No, it was... We had flown from Dublin to do the video, and I think we had done a little bit of promotion as well, and then we went to Death Valley, or went to the Mojave Desert, and which is very close to Death Valley, where we were actually filming. And we were working on jet lag, and then also getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to shoot, because the sun goes down so early. So it was really just such long hours in the heat, and it happens to very many people. I mean, I think there was a video shoot about 2 weeks before, and there were 7 guys laid out from it. So it's a pretty common thing.
Good place to film your video, then, isn't it?
Whose idea was it?
I know. It's just heat exhaustion. I mean, the next morning we were absolutely fine. But
well, let's have a little clip of the video, which we're going to show in full at the end of the show, where you're all clearly suffering from terrible heat exhaustion. You look terrible. God, it's a long way from the back room at home, isn't it?
It is.
Practising when you're in your teens.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Breathless is from your new album, isn't it? Called Blue.
In Blue.
In Blue. And that was partly inspired by the dreadful thing that happened to you last year, which was losing your mother. She died because she was waiting for a lung transplant.
Lung transplant, that's right. She died in Newcastle,
before a transplant could come through.
Yeah, well, I don't think there would have even been the time. There was such a dramatic deterioration. There wouldn't have been the time. You know, it took us all completely by surprise.
Sure, she's only 57, wasn't she?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Very young.
She was actually just going over to Newcastle for an assessment, and a week later she was dead.
Oh dear. Well, you must have all been in a great shock then, if it was that.
It was an awful shock,
And how's your dad?
He's been very strong. He's been great. He's been really great. You know, been very, very strong. But
because really, it was both your mum and your dad who really encouraged you and got you together and played music with you and made music with you, because that's what they used to do as well. Sing.
And they were always there, you know, always encouraging, and
But you said that they were never pushy at all, and your mother in particular was never pushy, was she? She just you know.
I just loved it. I mean, I think she really enjoyed our success. You know, really loved every moment of it, which was great.
Oh, you must miss her.
Yeah, we do.
Are you all right though? Because the thing is, I think when you lose somebody very suddenly like that, especially at a young age, it wasn't a timely death at all. It wasn't that you'd been expecting it. You must have been grief-stricken.
Well, it's funny. everybody who's gone through this knows what it's like. It kind of, sometimes you think you're dealing with it fine, and then other times it just hits you like a sledgehammer, you know, out of the blue. So it really does come in waves. So you got to get used to that.
Yeah.
And it takes a long, long time to get over anything like that.
I was 21 when my dad died. Just on a day, just died, you know. And it took me about 2 years, maybe 3 years, to feel I'd completely got away from it, you know, and could look back and not feel pain.
Yeah, because you think it's all going okay and you think it's fine, but then it just comes back.
Jim's absolutely right.
You
It's
know?
exactly what happens. It hits you on the back of the head really hard, you know, when you're not even thinking about the person. You'd be all right now. Is it a year now?
No,
No,
it's
it's
not.
not.
It's
It's
only
only about
November.
6 months, really. It was only running.
Yeah. Oh, it's very raw then.
Yeah.
Oh, well, anyway, you've dedicated the album to her memory, haven't you?
Yeah.
What was her name?
Jean.
Jean.
Yeah.
Right, so that'll be on the album.
Yeah.
And talk about the songs themselves on the record. I mean, it's quite a varied sort of collection, isn't it? I've read. I haven't heard the album, but that's what I've read. Yeah?
Well, we got to collaborate in writing with Mutt Lang on this album. We did 3 songs, and the rest we did ourselves. So there's quite a mix of, I suppose, all the influences that we've amalgamated
This
over
is
the
Shania
over
Twain's
10
husband you're
years.
talking about, isn't
That's
it?
right.
Yeah.
Shania Twain's husband.
What's he like?
It's great.
He's great.
He's really
Yeah.
nice, yeah. Great to work
He's
with.
brilliant. Very charismatic.
So you mean it's got a sort of almost a country feel or an R&B?
Oh,
feel?
No, not at all, no.
It's really
No, I
a
don't think
mixture
so.
of what we've done. You know, there's some that's really pop. There's some that's a lot more rock orientated, a lot more guitar orientated. I mean, everything. It's a total crossover of what we've been doing and how we progressed over the last year. So it's different. Definitely, it's a progression.
But it wouldn't strike you as not a Corrs album. It's definitely a Corrs album. You know, I just wouldn't want people to think that.
Yeah.
They're not going to recognise it because they won't totally.
You three must get, with all respect to you three must get stacks of fan mail. You must get enormous amounts.
We do get a lot.
Dad gets it all for us. He reads
How many
it
letters do
and
you get a
he
week,
gives
do you
them
know?
to us.
Oh, God, I don't know.
What, hundreds or thousands?
I don't know.
It would be hundreds. No, I don't think it would be
It wouldn't
thousands.
be thousands, no,
Yeah.
it would be hundreds.
And do you get to
Lovely
read a
fans.
selected, you know, selection of them?
Well,
What
we
is it?
do. I mean, when we get home, we do read them. Yeah.
You know, I remember asking you before about where you got your looks from, and you said it was your mum, didn't you say that?
Mum and Dad.
And our father.
Well done.
He's watching.
Dad's watching
No, I'm sorry, Dad. No. Your mum and Dad.
He's very handsome himself.
He's a handsome chap.
But it's very it is a very Irish look, because I was just looking at Sharon there.
I know just what you're going to say.
Karen Keating.
Karen Keating, yeah, there's
You
a
look
similarity.
so there must
Oh,
be.
really?
Yeah, you look terribly like her, really, in many ways. Or she looks terribly like you. So that must be an Irish look, then. Do you is it?
Is it?
I mean,
No,
it
is
can't be a coincidence.
Yeah, no,
How do
I
you
think
define
there
it?
is. I think there is an Irish look. Although a lot of people
Yeah.
have said to us over the years that we don't look strictly Irish, you know. But yeah, I suppose.
No, I
there
wouldn't
is.
have been surprised if you told me
Yeah.
you were from the continent, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
because you've got that darkness and fineness of feature. But the resemblance is such a coincidence.
It does look out at you, I know what you're saying,
Yeah.
yeah. It just sort of peeks at you. Yeah.
And you.
Absolutely.
I don't know where I come from.
Have a DNA test. Just check it out.
Well, listen, you're going to be releasing that single on July the 3rd,
Yeah.
Yes.
and we're going to be playing it
We're going to play the video
at the
today.
end of the show.
And you're going to perform for us, which we're going to put down on some tape and play it again later.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Great.
Okay.
Excellent. It's good to see you all. Good to see you
You
looking
too.
so well. I was saying that just before we started, are you getting enough rest? You know, I sound like an old man here, but are you?
Yeah, we
Look
have
it.
been. I mean, doing the album afforded us a lot of rest because we did it in Ireland, so we could go home to our own houses every night. So
Yeah.
that was good. I don't know what's going to be like over the next 6 months, but
what are
it's
you
just
planning
started
next?
off now.
Well, yeah,
But we're
it's
just
a
doing
tour.
promotion all over Europe and Southeast Asia and America.
And what about touring?
That's in autumn.
I suppose really you can't have a career plan, can you, when you're in a kind of a contemporary band like this? You have to sort of take it year on year, don't you? You can't really
You
plan
do.
ahead too much.
Absolutely, yeah. It's I mean, it's not going to be as mad. I think we're going to have the schedule mapped out a little bit better this time than we had. There were times, as we told you before,
Yeah.
where we had to shift between continents very, very quickly.
Yeah, yeah.
There was one time we did a trip. We went from Dublin to Atlanta to Toronto to Japan
Oh, no.
to London to Paris and then to Australia.
Yeah.
Think about the jet lag on
space
that
of
one.
Forget sleep.
It
Yeah.
was just
Terrible.
crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder what you guys will be like when you're sort of about 60.
I can't wait.
Can you
I can't
imagine it?
wait.
I mean, you'll have to do
can't
grandchildren.
Yeah. I know, because it just... we talk about... Myself and Andrew talk
you say
about this
rested or
about a
wasted?
lot.
I said rest.
Oh, this is
The
wasted.
pressure, I think the pressure will be gone just to be,
Yeah.
you know, dressing up and,
Yeah.
you know, looking like the Corrs or whatever. You know, I hope the pressure will be off. I mean, I may say something different when I get there, but I just would like the
Looking
pressure
forward to
be
being
off.
60. I think that's wonderful. Are you?
I have no fear of or any kind of bad feeling about getting older at all. I mean, I think it's it'll be a new part of your life, and it doesn't bother me.
But you'd have to perform still. I can just see you.
Not at 60.
Oh, you could.
No way.
That'd be good.
Well, you're so old now. That'd be good.
Yeah.
All right, it's great to see you.
Yeah, it is.
Thanks
Very
for
nice
coming
to see
in.
you. Lots of luck with it.
Take it easy.
Thank you.